Good evening, me fambolem. Good afternoon, good morning, depending upon who side you join me from. Fambole, we don't come today, Thursday. Me, na Abdul Karim Kabo, the founder and CEO of VOS Network. Fambolem, the topic today, Baku people and they talk about, say, my program all the time they think about then they concentrate so much on the negative, but for me I think say we focus mostly on the important issues them. The two way I want follow we talk about tonight now about Parliament don't pass the new Anti-Corruption Act. So the new anti-corruption law we go considered the 2019. So then do modification to the 2008 Anti-Corruption Act. So this go be considered 2019 Anti-Corruption Act. But Fambulem for the most part, the thing them way the act sort of adjust to the 2008 I want to follow we talk about that. Waiting na the new things then we then talk about na this act. And Fambulem, before we go further, I really want to say kudos to the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. Yes, Boku people can get issue with the way it come in. And again, we every institution as Salone, we supposed to be independent. We know say politics don't well the institutions, then they don't undermine the institutions their independence and then credibility by extension. So but we don't want to focus too heavily on their aspects then they let we talk about waiting there before we right now in terms of waiting at the additional powers them where the ACC boss don't get or where the Anti-Corruption Commission don't get. And the reason we make an able bring come to the act itself now because for it become law the president gave for sign them, so they don't send them to the president, and when the president sign it become law, and then maybe the next broadcast we go into specifics. But for right now we get a media outlet we able give we a sort of snapshot of this whole new law or the enhancement, if you want to put up by English. Yes, we know say the anti-corruption law, it just tell like some people the way they follow in terms of the history. The person we basically introduce the administration, we introduce the Anti-Corruption Act. Now President Kaba, late President Kaba, let him so rest in perfect peace. So introduce him, and then former President Kuruma come and say, no, this law is sort of not go too deep. So then Seth add something for make them really tough or tougher, if you will. So it become the 2008 Act, Anti-Corruption Act. So now President President BO don't come under administration, it don't make more tougher aspect of this anti-corruption law. And now it will considered the 2019 after we President BO don't sign them, it will become the 2019 Anti-Corruption Act. We go be one of the new laws them in terms of how to fight corruption. But Fambulem again we go encourage you now for let una share, because let we able understand waiting now the additional powers them where Parliament don't give the ACC for let them go after the people them way then deem corrupt. So as we go along, the question now will be if the new laws here then can able go back to case them where they be don't handle. So but I know say some of we not go get the answer to that, but if we will try and find a way for like we go able bring Ben Kelfala back na this studio, let it tell we waiting at the new things the way they add and waiting it mean, and we will try for ask some of the questions them for see if the new laws here for then case them we lay down if then able apply the new laws them even though now old cases them. So then they I sure say Ingo able answer am and for we able understand if then laws then the new laws them go begin bet the previous administration even though then case them in our old case them. But I'm so glad for people them we really don't join we and for we get better understanding of the new laws, I mean the law and the thing where they don't do the additions the way they do for strengthening the ACC. We go read an article where this article go help we for understand some of the things them, but clearly when I go see from the article say this not something where just one party and this we they talk about we they preach almost every day in our VOS say let we try for see how the parties then go work together, parliament work together and put the country go push the country go before. And we see this enhancement, this new anti-corruption act when our 2019 then just pass them and we go see say all the parties then because they use one word say unanimously they agree after they don't debate the bill, they unanimously all the parties them agree for pass the law. So then they I want to say kudos to the parliamentarians them where they all go beyond this law for the fet corruption that's Salone. So again before we show the article I want to say boku thank you to the people that we don't join we. I want to say special thank you to Kanko Mansai. Thank you so much for where you join we and want to say also particular thank you and welcome to Wiyon, Madam Bendu Kamara. Thank you so much. And yesterday from my understanding based on Madam Sister Almira in show we understand so you know they feel too well. We hope you they feel better now Sister Bendu and you see you get a little bit of flu and again want to say boku thank you to Wiyon brother Aman Sir Kuruma. Thank you so much for we join we and we young sister when Sister Memuna to Marion Barry Safa. Thank you very much. It's a good evening CEO and the VOS family and one for say boku thank you and welcome to HJ Makeway. Good evening to you HJ. Thank you so much for we join we and one for say special thank you also to the additional people we don't join we and again this now everybody in station and we all get a voice. So one for say boku thank you to our Kabia Darami. Thank you so much Sister Awa will you join we and we want for say boku thank you to Jacob J Mambu. Thank you for we join we and thank you Almami Sise. Thank you and Young K Williams, thank you so much for we join we and we young sister when Sister Matilda. Thank you so much for where you join we and one for say again special thank you to Joe Pomai. Thank you so much for we join we this evening and Fambulem let we basically I know say yes more people and go join we but there let we encourage people and for share so we all go able for participate and let we push Mama Salone go before. And also I just want to remind we all say the phone lines they're open and I go open the phone lines them right away because we want to discuss this and on a member boku tem na Salone we don't they talk about Salone issues say Salone the laws then day. But the problem is the implementation. So yes, this is now first good step for let them put additional laws them for strengthening that anti-corruption, the corruption for tackle corruption at Salone. But the problem now, as plenty of we during the term we'll get for begin call, we go ask boku questions them say with all the laws there the implementation, if it bet somebody, yes, we know say the previous administration absolutely do not forget away with anything we didn't do wrong in that country, they particularly for embezzle the country fund, where you got poor people in the struggle. No Sierra Leonean no deserve for they in abject poverty at all, given the mineral resources and given plenty other things them where Sierra Leoneans then supposed to enjoy. So any administration, be it the past administration or the present, if we get way for go after them, I believe say we all go say we were no mix we were no eat, we go say 100% let them go after them. But the caveat or the caution where we can always give now VOS is when we they go after them people here, let we not put party business, because that party business, that political business, we think it happen, it'll be a kind of revolving door, because where you come all day, the other person come, instead of push the country go before, waiting they happen, it'll be revenge. And we don't want that. We don't tire, we don't sick and tired of revenge. So where will they go after people? Let we go after them the right way, where regardless of whose political party you affiliated with, if the law bet you embezzle with couple, therefore go after you. And at that make we go say kudos to the anti-corruption boss, and we they hope that President Bio start for lack this anti-corruption commission be independent. Let them not bring them into the politics of the day, because then they is very easy for weakening any good institution of that country there. So fumble them, as I say, let we not waste too much time. Let we go straight to the article and let we read them, so we all go able for understand exactly within we they talk about tonight. So when I see the article now from the Sierra Leone Telegraph, and one for say boku thank you to them, we then they help we for understand waiting they go on a Salone, where they bring them in a form of a report. And when I see the headline here, waiting the headline say Sierra Leone Parliament enacts new anti-corruption laws to win the fight against corruption. And a very, very good headline, if we all cable see that. And we all wish that this headline be the case. Say the new laws here go help the ACC for fight corruption at that country day. So when I see the ACC boss and Boku people really give this man huge respect. And by the way, this report then just put them out within hours. So I decided, okay, well, let me make this the main topic for tonight, so that way the people then go able to get first-hand information and for know specifically waiting they go on at the country and waiting at the new things the way they take place right now in the country. So fumble them, if una take a look at the article, so I go read them slowly, let people able to understand within they happen here. So it said the Parliament of Sierra Leone has today debated and passed a bill put forward to MPs by the government seeking their approval to amend the existing corruption laws to make them more effective in the fight against graft. And the people that we don't know within a graft now, corruption, misappropriation of public funds and other financial misdemeanors. So what this basically mean is it means say the government, the ACC precisely on behalf of the government, table them carrying on our parliament, because even the ACC boss will become Naya, where Madam Fadima and Professor Kutubu be interview it talk about this particular aspect, say it don't bring something, it don't care something on our parliament for let parliament approve and let then change some of the existing laws them for like the whole anti-corruption fight go be effective na Salone. So the second paragraph talk about the proposed amendment were scrutinized yesterday by a joint committee, including the Legislative and Transparency Committee, and was then sent back to the whole House for debate today. So they then go through the process, and plenty of way they follow up. You will realize, say, the way bills then they go, they get different stages them, and it all reach now the final stage, and they don't debate them today, and una go see as we read along. And this of course now the parliament, a picture of the parliament. And the article continue for saying, and after intense debate today, MPs unanimously approved the changes to the 2008 Corruption Act, thus enacting what is now referred to as the Anti-Corruption in bracket Amendment Act of 2019 into law with some amendments. So within this they tell we basically say one thing where I really want for say kudos to all the parliamentarians them, even though we then debate them, yes, which is really nice for letting debate them, but they use the word naya say MPs unanimously, so meaning they all, we not get nobody way opposed to then changes here to the 2008 Corruption Act, which is good for the country, because we all know say APC, SLPP, they are infighting, where one set agree, the other sets not agree, the other one will not agree, they fight for undermine, even though where something will be good for the country, but because of politics, then go tend for undermine certain things them were not good for the country. So this to me as Sierra Leoneans them, or for say kudos to them for where they all decide and agree say this not the benefit in the benefit of the country, and let them pass this law, let them approve them in terms of the adjustment we them for make. So the article continue for say the main thrusts of the Anti-Corruption, that's the Amendment Act of 2019, is that for the first time it is now clear as to which categories of public officers are required to make annual declaration of their assets. It has also increased penalties for offenses under the Act and other related matters. And we all know, say, we then can talk plenty time other related matters. It can be a lot of things them, and I don't know why they always like for put that clause they in, and that's they create ambiguity. Let them specify them. I'm not saying for maybe make a lengthy, and also for cover side and wait tomorrow if something happened, the anti-corruption will say, well, this particular side will say all other related matters, it give me the mandate for let go after this. So I can always say this can be a slippery slope in terms of where they can use this word. I don't know why they can like for putam, but this they give so much power where it comes to particular aspect of the law. We see this kind of clause now the way the electoral commissioner use the term where it be one for cancel the elections them the election where they conduct na constituency 110, and it say by the power vested in by the constitution it get right for do that. And waiting if for dompa that side we say all other related matters. So, and again, people then get for go to the to the Supreme Court, let them interpret what in that mean. So I don't know why again they use this, but I shall say we go always where we get confusion, we will bring the Supreme Court for let it help solve some of the issues then they. But again, Fambulem, la I put them back for the side part way I want to emphasize now, yeah. I want to emphasize on the aspect where this particular paragraph talk about. It talk about, say, this particular amendment, this particular 2019 Anti-Corruption Act is say then categorize in the sense, then specifically show now the category of public officers them where for do that every year declaration, because it dare say every year they for declare the asset, but it not be clear whose public officers then for declare the asset every year. So according to this, it say the new law with the amendment where they make, it make now clear whose public officers them for declare their assets every year. So this is another thing we foresee kudos to. But it not show specifically say whether they declare though, therefore declare publicly, particularly like the president, the vice, you know, them people in way we really believe say na they are bagba. For let the public know say that this thing come with. The reason where plenty of will be they push for let them give public declaration. Now the fact say if the president, for example, and we don't see so much power where it get that it fire and hire the anti-corruption boss. So that make that particular position, in my opinion, not independent. So if the president, for example, like how we see in South Africa, the president, they charge for corruption. But if the president corrupt and in the hire and fire the anti-corruption boss, so waiting get for happen, it go difficult. Even though law they say the president not for undergo any investigation where it in our office. But other things them when a private team them and when I fumble them or when a ministers them, the anti-corruption can go after them. But the problem now is if the president gets interest in that particular case, they say no, don't touch that person there. Waiting the anti-corruption boss go able do where the president get the opportunity, get the don't give himself the mandate. Say it can hire and fire him. So that by itself it be a kind of like how they can say carrot and stick. So if the president say we they assume that and then they say President Bill corrupt, not to data they make, but they assume, let we hypothetically say, because now Boku people them after we former President Kuruma left, Boku people them, you know, public opinion, the court of public opinion, they say former President Kuruma corrupt and administration corrupt and things like that. So a similar example that they bring now here. If President Bill want for protect particular people within an administration, let anti-corruption or even investigate them. So with this kind of power where it don't give itself, because I don't believe say the Anti-Corruption Act, even the 2001 before this amendment, not give President Bill that power for hire and fire the anti-corruption boss like that. So that's not the kind of thing where we try for put na here say with all the laws here, if the anti-corruption commission no independent, it go relatively meaningless. But let we basically talk more about this Anti-Corruption Act, Fambulem, where they don't make some changes. So again, they increase the penalty where people are capable for undergo where it can pay the anti-corruption. So if we now go to the article itself, they make fun there. But let we go to the next paragraph. This paragraph talk about say other key aspects of the new law is that it strengthens the protection of those who assist the Anti-Corruption Commission in their investigations and successful prosecution of those accused of corruption. So let I explain a little bit within this mean. Una no say na then developed country and I go give America for example, you know, Boku people can always say we they give too much reference America a lot. But for right now in terms of democracy, or go say America then at the top. for democracy, like modern democracy, the implementation of that. Right now, Donald Trump, President Trump, when the U.S. president, it go through what they call impeachment inquiry. And waiting bring about this for like the investigator. And for if the see say boku reason they for impeachment, waiting an impeachment for pull on a position before in term done, then go do them, but they investigate first the things the way it do. Who that now the people or person we bring this, they call them whistleblower. So now that this article, the new amendments, they say the people that we get for report. And that report, they not to just for go give fake thing and you feel say anti-corruption, go embarrass somebody and things like that. But no. But if you give vital information, you know whistleblower, and that information where you give the ACC, it result in successful arrest or for fight the case, you go considered a whistleblower, and this law say therefore protect you. So that's not the other thing. Let's put them back. You know, it's so nice where then laws here, they put them things here in a form of law. But we hope that then go find a way for let them implement them as well. Because we know say the politicians, they're very vicious. They're very, very vicious. They're wicked. They're dangerous where it comes by African politics. If they no say now Mr. or Mrs. X, now in go report them to the ACC come after them and convict them of corruption. That person there, if even in a prison, it get bobo there, get thugs them, we go after this person where they no say now and go leak the information. So I don't know how they go able for do this kind thing, implement this kind thing where they go protect them person and the other person they we go give vital information. So as much as it sounds very good per the law, the question is we go able for really protect them people and they where them politicians in Africa, particularly Salone, they're very, very dangerous. They go do any kind of thing because to them, politics now do or die. They go do any kind of thing for make sure say anybody will want go after them, they go kill you or even make you entire family suffer. So down there now one other thing where it go nice for after where the president now sign this, let the anti-corruption boss go across the country and give people a comfort. Say yes, you can come to we now ACC for carry report certain case and we go protect you. So they really need for convince people them say then they go definitely be the case. So let me go to the other part of the report. The report continue for say it provides the commission with a range of options in seeking redress from those accused of corruption who may want to settle out of court rather than face prosecution where there is an overwhelming evidence against them. And this now another aspect where we be they talk about say if the ACC they allow people them for settle out of court and the ACC they come and make them clear because I be don't say now you plenty them out of court settlement no mean say you guilty at all, because plenty of them settlements then the people them can say okay well I go pay but this not go affect me, but that don't mean say I don't plead for be guilty. So waiting that they do is where they don't do out of court settlement something where for even ban them for life, let them not participate in politics again till then die because then settle out of court and the ACC not agree for like then come out and say then guilty, then go don't escape that kind of punishment there. So now according to this particular part of the new law, they say even when you do that, the ACC get other options them where they go able to use for come after you, even when you decide, say, you go settle out of court. So then they self again, where we able to get access to the actual document, we go able to read that part, therefore we able to understand what are some of their options here, because they're not going to put them vaguely, say the ACC gets range of options them, even where you they settle out of court. Because when they do that, again, it don't give too much power to the ACC. So that one thing that we need for be careful. Two, yes, we all want for forfeit corruption, but we get for be careful back, say we want for put limit to anybody that a country the way we they give power. So if we not put limit, somebody go become like a huge bone of flesh, a huge I go say a tendency there for let that person they go abusing power is very high if it become too powerful. So I just want for through that caveat there. But the fact that this give the ACC that mandate, say in addition to their options, then get several options them, even where somebody decide for do out of court settlement. So let me continue for it, and I hope at the time for it I'm small and explain from my understanding, let we all able to understand before we go to the phone lines them, fumble them. And they continue for say the law also widens the scope of corruption to include that the accused offered, solicit, obtained or received in addition to gave and accepted an advantage, reduces the year-long requirement that people who cease to be public officers have to file a declaration in respect of their assets, and empowers the commissioner to specify categories of public officers for the purpose of declaration by statutory instrument published in a gazette. So yes, na boku English they use na ya, but wetin is specifically mean fumble them. First time, wetin be happen the 2008 Act, it be just say for like they charge you for corruption, you either give something for gain advantage or you receive something for gain advantage. So you physically get for take something or then or you give something. But now what thing that they say is they want for burden waiting at the corruption, the definition of corruption. Now yeah. So waiting now the addition where they put now this particular new one, they say if you then go accuse you of corruption, if they offer you, if you ask, not to if even then give, but if you ask, whether they give or not, for the fact that you ask, then go say you corrupt, then go charge you for corruption. You go then go accuse you of corruption where you ask. Like where, for example, where we can go ataki, where somebody go say, well, now forgive me this, and I go clear it for you. So whether you give him or not, because he ask you, automatically that person they go be accused of corruption. So first term, waiting it be the law be say, it say if the person ask me, I not give him, that you know receive him, you know considered, so they not go accuse him of corruption. And if me where they go just for let them pull me container quick, where I give something, then because I give something, not to even for say I not give it in it to, I say no more, okay, well, if you do this for me, I will give you 10 million leons, for example. Even though I not give the money, but because I say I go give you 10 million leons, they can charge me for corruption. So they can accuse me, say I corrupt. So now that kind addition, which it make boku sense, because for discourage people and not to say, oh, we forget, say, oh, then you take money or something. If we get evidence, if then get evidence, say you offer for pay somebody for let you get advantage, you know, go through the due process, that advantage the way you seek, where you offer the person, automatically then can accuse you of corruption. So the same thing again, if you beg somebody, as we know na pakrio, if you say, okay, well, give me this, whether you give them or not, then go accuse you of corruption. So now there are additional things then they then put for make it very clear who that then will charge for corruption. And it continues for say the 2019 Anti-Corruption Act provides for administrative sanction of public officers who fail to submit their asset declaration forms or knowingly record false, inaccurate or misleading information on the form, and to vest in the commissioner power to direct that contract may not proceed, where, for example, deemed that such contracts have been awarded contrary to public procurement regulations and anti-corruption laws. So what in this also mean? It means, say, if like every year you suppose, like if we like where this new law don't identify the public officers them where for declare the asset every year, if you not declare your asset, the law will bet you. If you declare your asset deliberately, and again now then they sure say the lawyer then go fet pa where then put say knowingly. So if you deliberately record false information or inaccurate or misleading information, the law will bet you as well. So we don't begin get calls them. So we go speed up very quickly now for like we take the calls them. So we will continue for read. The Anti-Corruption Commission is pleased to announce that the House of Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone has on Thursday, that's today, 31st October 2019, passed the Anti-Corruption Amendment Act 2019, being an amendment to the Anti-Corruption Act of 2008. So this thing where the anti-corruption put out for tell the public. The Amendment Act provides more for, among other things, increased penalties for offenses under the Act, strengthens prosecution for witnesses and whistleblowers, I don't explain that, provides the ACC with alternatives to prosecution, widens the scope of corruption to include that of accused, just to explain that, offered, solicited, obtained, or received in addition to gave and accepted an advantage, reduces the year-long requirement. So basically the anti-corruption, they sort of say the same thing where I don't say, so I will skip that partly. So here now then quote the ACC, say following the passage of the bill, the commissioner of the ACC, Francis Ben Kelfala Esquire, had this to say: the People's Anti-Corruption Amendment Bill 2019 fully empowers the ACC to make corruption very expensive and more efficiently confront corruption at all levels, including preventing the signing of contracts that are not in the national interest. So this the thing where they make Naya, and he continued to say the bill, which was first tabled in Parliament some 7 months ago, was passed after going through the legislative stages and committees in Parliament, including a vote by members of Parliament specifically on the contract clause, and thereafter the entire bill following a vibrant bipartisan debate. So that's Nade I go stop and let we basically take the first call, and I go come and read some of the comments them. VOS Network, hello caller, what's your name and who say the call from, please? Hello, caller. What's your name and who said they call from?
Been Lansana Sako. I call from Reading, Pennsylvania.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sako. And what's your take on this new anti-corruption laws?
Well, I've been just coming where you they talk about whether if somebody just they attempt kind of even though you not do the act, but you they discuss them. If I am right, I come in when you they on that one. Basically, me on take on that and reading the comments below, I go suggest say I go feel say somebody maybe on include whether for settle out of court like we're waiting to happen right now. Me brother, I'm glad we then strengthen the law, we then give more power to the anti-corruption. One reason why, because the person where they in charge, it really want fight corruption. I don't hear you or plenty time where you they say no to the law matter. Now whether people and they actually enforce the law and they execute them now in matter. This particular officer where we get when I've been Kelfala, we all know say they really execute in duties and they act on them in a practical manner. So now that's not in we want the laws then they are the books already. Now if you come to whether to hold somebody because they don't discuss intent of corruption, I go believe say that's now one of the way where we go by the saying we say prevention is better than cure. For stop them right on the track than for wait where they don't cause the damage, we begin repair and in this case spend the money again for defend for lock criminal up, waste more money. Make a key example, 2007-2008 presidential election in the United States, the governor where been there na Illinois, meaning Chicago, who say Obama come out, the seat where in the vacate as a senator, the constitution na Chicago, it give the governor the power for appoint another senator without an election. Because of that power where in get, it abuse them, it begin to make phone call, they sell the thing to the highest bidder, then wiretap them and catch them with that conversation, including the son of the of a known civil rights leader, where they call Jesse Jackson, in Peking Jesse Jackson Jr., where in fact have been congressman at that time. Waiting the government do, the state of Chicago, then prosecute the governor, find them guilty, lock them up for 14 good years. I want to let everybody know this. They not catch them in the exchange money. The deal not done yet at all. Not just because it get the intent for corrupt and take money. So it go jail for 14 years as we speak. So since 2010, it still get jail. Now the 9 year the council, Donald Trump made the talk for pardon and people and they propose. So me go one play anti-corruption get that power day. So let them stop, prevent before then they come for can cure. I go on that. The out of court settlement are they against that one day completely because waiting do my fellow Sierra Leoneans them. We get small bobo them we not hungry and they go thief fish in the market. The one way they go thief book for let is sell buy one plate rest. Where then catch them, then go beat and say then go nearly kill them if policeman not come. But again, if they not kill, I go police with all the injury and everything. Instead of put an hospital, then they go put another dirty set. Now they sick the kids he die. If he not die, they put a 6-7 years jail. The man where they take million, where they attempt for take million, when a 10,000 Sierra Leoneans their your money, why we for settle out of court with them? For whose reason? In your blood better pass that bobo we not get nothing for it. That they need go tap. I think say them for strengthen them more than this, them for get anti-corruption, more power, and I'm glad you are you read the last word where they say anti-corruption get the power now for go against any deal where not be in favor of the state. The only reason why I want that because of the person where we get there, where really seek the interest of Sierra Leoneans in the person of Baikefala. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Well said, Brother Lansana Sako. Thank you very much. Let we take more calls them as the calls them on the cam. And so caller VOS network, waiting your name and who say they call from, please?
Lawrence Fox, I call from London.
Thank you so much, brother. So, what are you take on this issue in terms of more strengthening laws them or powers them given to the anti-corruption for strengthening the mandate? What do you make of it? So, 3 minutes, please.
Don't look at first, pardon. Yes, morality first on time in our society. I mean, usually take that. Then Kelfala is not sincere to fight corruption. They don't go forget more law or more order for fetch that you want fetch. Understand? Because first of all, if he abused the law, I don't say this, the AG, Attorney General and Minister of Justice na Salone, they abuse the law. The Chief Justice, they abuse the law. Understand? The winner then supposed to carry the law. That's what I mean. And not still indicts them. You get Chance Hospital. Understand? We talk about charity and this and that. It takes the label indict nobody. The only way me see no way to go against are just opposition. They're not sincere, man. I just carry catch on a play. Then number two, you talk about witness protection. You ever protect witness in that country when the whole place is vulnerable, people are vulnerable. The poor people are always will be affected. And the fact that not the law and the make. They're not sincere. That's it. They're not the thing. Morality dead. So now Jobolo Jabla will throw outside and they part of that country, man. Jobolo Jabla, Ben Kelfala should be fired for me if I look at. Because if you let the Chief Justice, we go write letters see them for without following the procedure. Because corruption and act of abuse of office. But another teacher that you go put them in a cotton tree. And then we are not sincere. Now me take that. So now we'll talk at the West Parliamentary term, the West, we'll talk at the only pants.
All right, you get enough time. You get enough time, my brother. I just want to ask a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah, so where you like that Attorney General where you talk about, we get, I think it was last week, we get the head of the Bar Association, the Sierra Leone Bar Association, the president, we ask him that question. He said the letter where the Attorney General writes, from your understanding, not to command, now request. So, and with request, you can do them, you know, can do them. So, I don't know if Dande clarify things. So, to Ram, if na request a request for let the lady go on leave and whatever is suggested by the letter, so that I don't feel say it break the law or it broke the law. Because a request, like making request, say, you know what, in the interest of XYZ, I will recommend or suggest for let you go on leave. So now, so in say he understand them. So I just want for let we set the record straight. So
I can get a take. So I can get a take. I can get a take.
Yeah, go ahead. You time still there on.
Before, excuse me, sir. Yeah, excuse me, sir. Before you request, you get procedures where you follow. You know the go right person, the tenant you request. Therefore, seek legal advice from the panels that we set up, the procedures. They therefore follow them. When you don't follow procedure, abroad when you don't follow procedure, you are fired. Because you then endanger other people that when go use them legally against you. So request now what than demand. The fact here is he abused office, not a fact. You're not supposed to write to the woman and say, I do request. You know the request? You seek legal advice from the board. The board will set the act, will set the board. How you go do on you? What about the Chief Justice? A request is a request.
All right. Well, you make great points them, and one for Teyuboku. Thank you for that. And I see one other contributor talk about say for yeah. Ogotai for invite Mr. Ben Kelfala for let Eka explain to we waiting this new laws they mean, and we go well go get opportunity for ask him plenty of them questions here. Thank you very much.
They're not sincere. I don't care. Say not sincere. That's the fact. They're not sincere.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Let we hear from other people, them, and you know, sorry, yes, okay, this is a platform where we all the sort of express we voices, and thank you again, my brother. God bless. So let me take a call from another Sierra Leonean VOS network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say they call from, please? Hello, caller. You there live? What's your name and who say they call from? Okay, I don't know if the person really, okay. Well, please call me back, because I don't know if you don't wait for long and you don't forget to see you there on live. All right, well, I'll go to the comment section, and I want to say boku boku thank you to the people that we don't join and again I'll be as it will be they receive the calls them people will be get people that will they display then comment them and as soon as see. But I want to say boku thank you to brother Fode Bundu. He say I wish we can invite again the to the studio to hear his response to this new laws passed by Parliament. This is good because it is bipartisan vote. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. And one for say boku boku thank you to you. We sister Matilda say it's not only about monetary malpractice, but also about ethics within institutions at all levels that includes corporations and civil society conduct and international businesses. Absolutely. And again we be don't display at one point the definition of corruption, not to just money, because it look like say we all concentrate on money. Even some practices them for gain favor, and not necessarily need for be monetary favor, it can be corruption. Let me take the call. VOS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting your name and who side they call from, please?
Yes, I hope say I not become a nuisance. My last and after call, I just one can clarify something where we brought away. Just come up on the line, say.
All right, go ahead, sir. You there within your 3 minutes. Go ahead, please.
All right, we brother say the man request enough for request if we go through a procedure. Now, this argument why they bring come. And all they try to say the man command somebody or you know command somebody because me no watch the program. They are not being get the privilege to watch them. So I know they have to support the command or no command. But my brother, waiting me they say to the last caller, when you put a request, now voluntary thing where you they do, where you they make your mind up, as long as you already force somebody in hand for let it do what you want. If you want say our request, it's almost like you they plead, you know, they actually force somebody or put your power on somebody. They left to other people, they let them agree to your request or no. There is nowhere where somebody go and make a request, then say let it go through a procedure before it make a request. Your request can be denied by the people the way they in charge of anything and tell you say, well, Usa, you said I'm not will not allow that woman let it take a leave. That your request don't be denied. So I've been just one put that out for say request no need any legal thing. Now legal advice, when you seek legal advice, that's something where you believe say you're supposed to say it will be an incriminating thing towards you. Yes, that will be true. You go ask your lawyer. But you feel say if I request this, then go ask, then go use this against me in a court. But you don't need permission for let somebody allow you let you request. Not at all. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for the clarification. And the same way, the president of the Bar Association, where we be interviewing Professor Kutubu and Madam Fadima, where they be interviewing, now that is here as well. So thank you very much for that clarification there. But even though, to some extent, giving you power, some request there where you they request, you they put somebody in a very tight corner where you go ask for let's say no. Given you position, so there is a little bit of gray area. But if you look in a literal sense, yes, request you can say no to it. You can turn them down. You get that option.
Right.
So thank you very much. Let we hear from someone else. Thank you again, Brother Lansana. VOS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting on your name and who side they call from, please.
Yes, Mr. Kagbo. Good evening, this is Laji Umar from Philadelphia.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Umar. It don't take small. So what's your take on this additional power where Parliament don't get the ACC?
Yeah, actually I get busy schedule this night, but anyhow, so the fight against corruption, not the way everybody no go deny, and everybody need to embrace, because some people or some of you way the certain side where fortunately maybe for certain side way corruption na you know you go really know say corruption not the way the endanger na kind of an emergency in any country, because once corruption there, nothing no day where they go before. So the problem about the whole thing is I'm so happy with the strengthening when they strengthen the anti-corruption. The problem, the fear is if Tine will do Tine genuinely, justly. If they strengthen the anti-corruption for fight corruption in every aspect, then it's really fine. And Missy say the country they move forward in terms of fighting corruption. How? Where Pakabakam at the tendency way in some of you will understand a set of anti-corruption. Then Pakaba in time done, and then scam is strengthening the anti-corruption. And President Bureau come, you don't strengthen. That meaning we move forward a little bit. The laws then they. It's like the laws then they, we need to implement the laws then. If we implement the laws with even what you get right now, so that will minimize corruption. So with this then law there, and for make them back, not only for put the laws in, for make them so difficult for somebody able to thief. One purpose. For that at some point, even for access money, for make it difficult. We don't see them firsthand. So the laws they're fine. They don't pass the laws there. But the anti-corruption boss and the anti-corruption commission need to be genuine. A case in example now, what happened recently about the land issue where Bailobari go with it go away, and the land ministry say they don't know nothing about. Where they say the court give verdict, and the court rely on the land ministry for give the verdict. So that in one way corruption. So all them things in the way the anti-corruption commission need for look into, because now clear corruption ain't happen. The court will give verdict without the knowledge of land ministry, because now they didn't rely for get the evidence. So the law don't pass, but they need to be honest. That's the only way that they will fight corruption. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Brother Umar. Thank you so much. Let God bless. And I want to say boku thank you again to everybody we don't join we. And I want to go back a little bit to we brother Njai, sorry, Richard Ngauja. Let read your comment before sort of answer. You say, CEO, you can't put everything on black and white when drafting legislation. You have to make room for other related matters that may arise in the future that was not covered during the drafting process. It's not common, that kind of thing is not common in advanced countries. What do you get parliament for? You need to make them so vague, you give somebody unlimited power. Because when you say all other related matter, then you don't run into the interpretation of this. Where you put something in the Constitution, you get for making clear. So the intention, why then come back to Parliament for amend? Now that Parliament they sit on every year. So if need they for amend or for widen the scope, then go pass another bill and make amendment. But for say, and that's not the kind of thing where they go through. It's so plenty into Salone Constitution. All other related matters. All other related matters. I remember where they do the debate during the instruments this inquiry, the Commission of Inquiry. Sherikoko, a grab and try for talk about say than they vague. not knowing to say, INSEF don't accept, it don't draft some part of previous bills them, we include that. So, and Tunis at the time, where now they represent Salone, the ECOWAS Parliament, where now they chair the ECOWAS Parliament. So, guess what? That particular thing, because where it suits you, you feel say yes, it go broaden the net for catch more fish and stuff, but it's very, very dangerous. Because, and again, the example what they give, the electoral commissioner, we all know say, it's not supposed for cancel an entire election. We all know that. But he used that. They are part of the Constitution. Say he gets the mandate for address all other matters relating to elections. So you see, and now that the challenger go through the Supreme Court for let the Supreme Court rule on that if it gets the mandate for cancel an entire election. So Supreme Court now so overwhelmed and waiting it for happen. It get for take a while for let them come to that. And by the time they reach to that level, another time the time they'll reach for do the rerun. So now some of them things here we need for really be careful. Let we not throw deliberately ambiguities and create unnecessary issues. If you want additional power, come back to Parliament. Let Parliament make the necessary amendment. Parliament, they sit every year. Not to say whether they don't make them so, if it last for 10, 15, 20 years. So you arguments, they say, for think about the future. No. You need for think about the immediate situation and not a long-term future. Because things then they change, and as they change, you come back to Parliament. And the American Constitution, who standard all right time, long time ago, I think from 17 something. But guess what? Now the same Constitution, but they amend them as then go along. So now that's the Parliament therefore for make amendments. They're not going to write them in a way that you forget so much power. And then, because I don't know if you remember, Ben Kelfala, he say this then teacher them, the way he puts the teachers them. Even though Boku people them way law people them, lawyers them, they say it contradicts the Constitution. But what did he say? He say part of the act, they say let it do everything necessary for fight corruption. And to Ram, the interpretation of that clause day, that way it do, it included in everything possible or necessary. So you see the point, the side way they go. So now, why we want for wait till it reach to that point, and we all know so with a struggle with Supreme Court, the entire judiciary in terms of the interpretation of laws them. Because they're so politicized. So why now going forward, we're not going to make something very clear? So for define a particular clause, and not take boku lines them, but then put on it deliberately for give people so much power. And that's wrong. For give people them where quote and unquote, I go say unlimited powers. So not to say media against this, I really glad and that's make I be put that kind of way and say, if even you offer, not a way you really give the person, if you offer, that's not corruption. I like them. You see, they put on there specifically. But if they make them in a vague way, then given the political situation of the country, given the fact that with politicians, they always get for interfere in their institutions here, then go use them for fight against their opponent. So that's make enough for they put too much gray areas. or too many gray areas. So let me take additional call. VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's in your name and who say they call from, please?
Concern Salone from Australia.
Hello, Concern. Thank you so much for your call. What's in your take on this issue, sir?
Well, the most important thing is for the fact that the agreement is bipartisan. That don't tell we say all political parties actually accept the corruption. Now the key obstacle of any country in development, they all agree on that. That's the thing you say. When it comes to implementation, that is where the problems lies. But every political party in that country believes the corruption now end up obstructs real development, now end up make that country since after independence. We foreign exchange be far way better than even England. When you look at the strength of the pounds to the leos by then, it was far much better. But corruption don't drag we to win knees in that country. So the way forward is how we for strengthen them institutions there where they establish, more especially the anti-corruption. For the fact that all political parties inside parliament don't agree, we give them kudos for the agreement. Waiting with the wait for now. For where somebody call himself patriotic, where he stand behind a party color, even when he points with inside the party they do bad, for call them out say party this is not patriotic. Now that time now we the wait for. And at the same thing America they face today with Donald Trump impeachment proceedings and inquiry where they go on. You see Republicans there, they say most a man selfish when it comes to a lot of people look at patriotic. Patriotism is about the country. But now politicians, the patriotism is to the party, not the country. Now you see Republicans, instead of them tell Donald Trump the truth. No. They hide behind because man the first say if we go back this president, oh, we survive and don't finish, they're not going to vote for party again. So that they tell you say most a man in the natural sense is selfish. We they pray and hope say people we don't vote for this. When the party members they find them guilty of any corruption in that country, will stand for the truth and only for the truth, and stand for the country, not the party in color. Thank you very much.
Well said and short to the point. Thank you very much, and I'm glad that US example where you give, and now that's make in fact US now. Some Republicans them, yes, because of you know, the party and plenty time they take and say if they come up behind the party go out for let them raise money for the next campaign for letting be re-elected and stuff. So plenty time now most of that, but you get some of them now we don't begin speak out. We disagree with the president. Yes, it not be as people and go like for be, but few times you get Republicans that we don't come and condemn Donald Trump on television. But Salone, artfully you see that. But again, part of the Constitution is responsible for that. And at one point, we don't show them now VOS, the Constitution, part of the Constitution say the members them of Parliament, they're supposed to toe the party lines. If they vote against the party lines, the party get the right for expel them. So if you not belong to a party, you go lost your parliamentary seat. So if the party say no, you there against we and stuff, you can lose your party seat. I mean your parliamentary seat. So now the one issue that so the Constitution, sadly enough, they write that Constitution the 1991. So the 1991, during that time, we get only one party system, not the country. So even there they make multi-party caveat here and there, but the mindset now one party. So giving the party so much power. And another thing where I want to bring to our attention, if una remember the time where we get the spokesperson, where now Mr. Abdoulaye Beyete of the spokesperson to former President Koroma. One thing where I not be play that audio day where they be interview the time where former President Koroma be sacked in vice. So wetin Berete be say na that tape dey is say according to part of the constitution we say the president, the vice president, therefore be member of a political party for get that for maintain that position there. So wetin then do? The first thing we then do for give room for former President Koroma go sack him, they expel him from the APC, from the party. So it not be get no political, it not be belong to no registered political party at the time. So as a result, they say, well, you not belong to no political party, so you not for be vice president. So you see somebody where the country don't elect. So for like a political party where not to Salone people them, they form that party, and not to the masses. They elect the people where they run that party there. That party there is only answerable to in members them, and not to every Sierra Leonean member, but the member of parliament them. Sierra Leoneans that don't go through democratic process, put them there for let a party get the power for pull them there, my brother. So that they make boku of them able talk, because when they talk, that clause they in at the neck. So now some of them things here they cause issues in our country. You know, one time I be sit down, I ask myself, I say, where to? People are so much loyal to them political party than even the country. Why is that? I take my time, I read the constitution about the legislature. The part where talk about the legislature, and it make it clear. Say if even you vote alongside other party members, them other than your party, they can discipline you, and one of the disciplinary action can be up to that point where you go lose you go lost your seat. Remember somebody where they don't elect. So the other terrible part of the constitution, then take half American system, take half British system, combine them, and it kind of be a huge mess. And I go give you an example. Now the parliamentary system, like where we get in Canada, if I belong to a political party, for whatever reason, that party they expel me from the party and they say I not caucus with them and stuff, you still they be a member of parliament, but you will be independent. They not get right for pull you there, because now the people that don't put you there. So but we now with political parties them we all know say they're selfish, they're terrible, but now them political parties then they determine for pull somebody where the Salone people that don't put there. So we really are glad whether they make the amendments here, but because of selfish reason, plenty of the parliamentarians they know very well, say plenty of them clause here now the constitution, because of the time where they write that constitution they when a one party system and it's all about party, guess what? They're not going to do that because they're in their favor. So for goodness sake, why are Sierra Leonean, and if I meet the minimum requirement in terms of the age, and are sane and not crazy, and I meet all the other requirements, why I need for belong to a political party for run for president in my country? When are they born, are they raised and everything? But with constitution, it put and they say, if you belong to a political party before you run for being president. So who's kind of discrimination that? Where then give you freedom of association. You free for associate with a political party, and equally so you free for be independent, not for associate. You get that freedom there. But the constitution, they force you for let you belong to a political party before you run for be president. So una see how it's difficult, and I go tell una one thing, given that clause there, where talk say the president, the vice, therefore belong to a political party. If they not belong to a political party, then they go disqualify them for be president. Again, make elect for look far. Let we give, would the prayer not happen? Because then they go create a constitutional crisis na Salone. Let we take this scenario. If President Bio want for do something very drastic for fight corruption and things like that, go after core SLPP people them. If the party all the meeting and they say, you know what, this president want disgrace we, he want pull with secret, now they want this, he want that, he want go according, he want for go after we. They're all a meeting. In not to the chairman, you get the chairman with different. All a meeting and expel them from the SLPP. You know what that go mean? Automatically, it disqualifies him for become president, for remain president. So if that kind of thing they happen, Fambulem, when I imagine the constitutional crisis will go kind of Salone. So for let that not happen, you see why President Bill possibly, where we all they say, even former President Koroma, where he can come, where he can go abroad, now more of APC. The same thing again, President Bill, where he come abroad, now more of SLPP. We they complain. We the people that will not belong to any of them parties then they. We they complain. We want to get access to president them. We want to get access to women leaders them. But because of this party business, don't enshrine in the constitution, make them so powerful that they're not go able to do something where not conform with the political party agenda. But yet they say put Salone first. But the constitution not put Salone first. The constitution put the party first. So me fumble them and they appeal to we all. Now some of them things here, before they put pressure and me they appeal to the parliamentarians them, let we try for amend plenty of them clauses than they now the constitution. If we want let Salone go before, if we want let we put Salone above even we own selfish interest. But if we not make the amendments then they now me fumble them, APC, SLPP, now they wouldn't sabi. It will just be infighting. It will just always be about them political parties. Anyway, let we take additional calls. VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say they call from, please? Caller, you there on live? Yes. What's your name and who say they call from, please?
Hello, yes, hi. This is Matilda Cole calling from Ottawa, Canada.
Hello, Sister Matilda. Thank you so much for calling. And what did you take? I see you write plenty comments there, and I'm glad the way you call. So what did you take overall on this issue?
So I call for two things. The first thing I call for, yes, great move. For me, it's not like we never had the laws. For me, I think when I don't read a lot of different anti-corruption laws in a different country. Sierra Leone to date, for me, have one of the strongest anti-corruption, laws. Our problem, like many have stated, is implementation. Okay? If we implement what we get, we're not going to find we safe, we do so. Now, when it comes to all other matters, I get very big problem with the languaging of that word there. For these reasons, all other matters, I know say I think his name is Richard Gauja was saying that it should be taken, it should be left to the interpretation of the courts. Like, why we not go take with him and thrash out things fully instead of always leaving things out for the interpretation of the court? Why we not go write things them where everybody gets the same knowledge and same understanding of? Why leave out that whole ambiguity? Because for me it's an ambiguity right there. It not only gives you a blanket application of the law as you see fit, just like with the examples the way you don't give, and those were the same examples I was going to give, and even further. Even the case where somebody called and mentioned about, the use of power by the Attorney General. Same thing. When people work or scope of work not get limitation, then get a blanket application. That's what happens. So for me, I would really, really like a situation where they spell out waiting are there all other matters, and they give some concrete clause where tell we exactly waiting they mean by all other matters. Because like you rightly say, Ben Kelfala use a clause where in fact most of his colleagues, them law-learned people, and don't come and say, no. Even the clause where he use for defend the parading or shaming, public shaming of the teachers, them, not to so he say, but he say according to your understanding, nada authority or that right that law they game. So in order for avoid that, I completely disagree with the person who say, make we go to the courts. Yes, the courts are there to interpret laws, but at the same time, where necessary and where we can avoid it, why don't we just thrash things out and spell them out for what it is, instead of leaving all these ambiguities? Because at the end of the day, like I say rightly, me remarks, this opens up, leeways for gaps. It opens up leeways for malpractices and brokerages and backway and underhanded deals, and also advantages. So then I have my first observation. My second observation is going back to somebody we call, I believe, by the name of Mr. Foe, where he been they give an example and he named the Attorney General, and I believe say Lassana Sako come on and challenge the view, and you say the I think it was the law or the Bar Association president came, just like what we don't say. So when there is blanket application of the law, when there are no limitations that covers and protects people when they are trying to do the right thing, that's exactly what the bar, in my opinion, that's my view, within the Bar Association president do. Any learned person, a little bit, if you learn, you sabi read, you sabi write, and you sabi understand clear English, a little bit, you read that letter where the Attorney General writes, and the tone in which and manner in which it was written, that was abuse of power. Make we left for the misquote and shoved in there on the carpet, and they call them pink when are green, and they call them blue where we clearly see are white. That was an abuse of power. Therefore, if she wanted to write and give an instruction or make a request, she should have done it in her own person, not using her office. For the mere fact that she used her office, it was an abuse of her powers. Because first of all, we clearly know for say, as an Attorney General, she is also a member of the Council Committees of Law, the Law Committee. And we clearly know for say, according to the Law Committee book, it say Council need for meet. And when council meets, then they deliberate, and as one unit, they make a decision, and as one unit, then they send out and take decision. So you being a member of that council, how you a sole isolated individual, based on the position of your power, you go write something, and then, you tell me for say that wasn't an abuse of your office? If she wanted to do it as a request, she should have done it in her own person, not using her office. She should have said, as a member of the council, and leave it as a title that is separate from the body of the governing structure.
Okay, well, well
for the mere fact that a confliged student, I'm sorry, and the tone of that letter, there is no way anybody can sit in front of me and argue.
Well, let we say, and that, as you rightly don't say, plenty of them here where they left, they can do and deliberately. You know, it's just unfortunate that the parliament self needed able for bring to bear then kind here for clarify, because the intention of plenty of their laws here not to deliberately for left farm let it be ambiguous. Now, for let people able understand, and some of the interpretations them, yes, the Supreme Court, but before it reached to the Supreme Court, like if you read the American Constitution, for example, you're able to understand plenty of it, or most of it, if I can put on so, most of it. But we own clause by clause, very, very ambiguous, and to some extent, even some section they contradict the other section. But anyways, thank you so much. We get another caller. Let we hear from yes, thank you. God bless, Sister Matilda. VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say they call from, please?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. CEO. This is Elijah Umar again, Philadelphia.
Hello, Brother Umar. Thank you so much. And what's your additional take? Go ahead, please.
Yes, my additional is more or less for support to some of the statements that we Matilda talked. This in relation to the Attorney General and also in relation to waiting the president for the Bar Association being can't talk now. So because I've been some parts be listening to in statements and it be clearly kind of contradict between the former president for the Bar Association as up to him, because he appeared for say in the two different line with respect to what they want to do. For example, where they want to do something happen, they believe say they supposed for talk to the public in something way he kind of defend against, you know. So the language where the Attorney General being right now the statement in relation to for the president for the legal counsel for step down, it's been clear. But I don't know why people like intend or try for change the language where other people like don't like for defend or purpose of defending, like they come and say, oh, no to that name, but in a very clear English and the way they write it, they really know says it may ask for the woman resign. So you know, so I'm just calling for really support in statement, Matilda statement for say corruption happen, and also Mr. We've been called earlier for praise Ben Kelfer. Of course, everybody they praise him, but we not go on for too much praise singing, because that I see praise singing where somebody do in work now, in work they do and they pay them for that, and then they come, they call, they begin to do kind of praise singing. If the person they do something very nice, just waiting and call, not try for casual other people that probably say in the right thing they do, you know. So the issue about corruption, it come in so many fronts. How it adjust itself to the people or to the public. For example, what it mean do to the teachers them, and opposed to other things that would happen. So you know, me just call for support Matilda for say me supporting statement, and indeed corruption is very deep, and the laws there for corruption are already there in the country. They only need for enforce them. So, but we not want for see a scenario where they add laws for run after other people unnecessarily. If then they really fight corruption, let them fight and genuinely, and everybody they watch, because everybody knows say before him now other people then be there. So tomorrow back now other person get for the day. So if you able to get that in mind, that helpful. So now no more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Umar. Thank you. God bless. And great point. But yes, people don't make them very clear. And I want to say boku thank you to everybody. And I see say, you know, people really they participate. And thank you so much for that. And I want to say particular thank you to Brother Gauja. And yes, you sort of don't make the point talk about, say, okay, well, now that's the court therefore, absolutely, but again, we all know waiting they go on right now at the court, the Supreme Court, then get boku case them, where I would say deliberately, then decide not for they touch them, because maybe the very politically tense. So why we want for wait stay to that level there? Why for right now we not go just make things them usai possible, just like our sister Matilda say, usai possible, we make them very clear for like people able to understand, say yes, this now the topic, and this now waiting is say, and as I say, when you read the American Constitution, bulk of the language very clear, very clear. But Salone, my goodness, like they're just left, and I'm not gonna blame the people away right now, because at that time the concern is how for fortify the position. So that's not be the concern, not to the country per se. Now for like they're able use the constitution for strengthening the position of power, and at that make then give the president so much power. And now they affect whistle, where the president can do almost everything, even power we not get, it grab them. And then because of so much party business, people then go say, oh yes, he get the power and the supreme this. But guess what? Parliament get the opportunity. So I don't know really this person where they call. We need to take hello. VS Network. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
That's all.
I think say I'm sorry about that, Fambulem. For some reason, somebody they called directly through the Facebook, and I do apologize for that. So we'll go take a quick commercial break and come right back, and we go continue. The phone lines they open, and people they ask waiting at the lines, waiting at the numbers. Them we display them, and we're going to encourage you now for call, and we'll come right back after this commercial break. When I not go away, when I stay tuned, we'll come right back after this.
You can be my brother. You can be my friend. Have you been looking for a place to get quality education but don't know how or where? Canadian College of Modern Technology, situated at 1 Silicon Hills, Mile 91, opposite former Camp Charlie, is the right place for you. Canadian College of Modern Technology, an affiliate of Jala University, is a fully accredited college with a Tertiary Education Commission (TEC) and a National Commission for Technical, Vocational and Other Academic Awards (NCTVA). We provide world-class tertiary education in computer science, business administration, mass communication, business information technology, Microsoft Server Administration, networking, database administration, building and construction, and other professional courses. Apart from its conducive environment, which makes it suitable for learning, Canadian College of Modern Technology is proud of its experienced local and international staffs. Come and experience a transformational learning environment, fully equipped with CCTV cameras, a world-class electronic library with the latest iMac computers for collaborative learning and research, and access to high-speed internet service throughout the campus. And guess what? Canadian College of Modern Technology is the first college in Sierra Leone to operate the first educational purpose-only television and radio station for its mass communication students. Come and be part of this historic experience. We have reserved a space for you. You want to know more? CCMC provides 24 hours electricity from a solar harvest power supply system with a backup generator. This highly secure campus also have a canteen, students' hostels with clean pipe-borne water. Canadian College offers many more amenities for our students to help make learning a good experience. For more information, contact us on these numbers: 079 630 407 or 099 140 208. If you want to succeed, Canadian College will exceed your expectations. Canadian College of Modern Technology, a place where career begins.
Hello, Fambulem. Una thank you for we una join we na this platform. And Fambulem, we don't receive several calls. Several calls them, yes, and we'll also don't receive boku messages. But again, for like we be fair na ya, we want the people and we they na. We also they watch na we YouTube channel. We want to give them opportunity. So waiting we go do fumble them. Let we basically show some of the comments them now the YouTube, and particular this comment. And we brother we na Peter Dauda, thank you so much. As always, they follow, you comment them now we YouTube channel, and you very active, and thank you for that. I know say sometimes then they don't come strong at me, but that's not democracy. And Mr. Dauda, they say Mr. Kagbo is not trying to say that it is impossible to offer protection to whistleblowers against corrupt people in Sierra Leone, or is he? So you ask the question, and a brilliant question, and I want to tell you boku thank you for that. No, I know they say it impossible, I just they say it very difficult. It will be very difficult given the fact say the politicians them for the most part they're so powerful na Salone, and then dangerous for the most part. So where they want for come after you, it will be very difficult for like they're able to protect you. And we all don't see that now Africa. Not just Salone. Africa where they say witness of high profile case and stuff. By the time the case they come up, something will happen to that witness day. It don't happen several places in Africa, countries in Africa. So I just say the ACC boss, after where President Biodon signed this amendment, this new act, let the ACC boss go and do a kind of educational seminars them, give people them the comfort for say yes, then able come forward with vital information where go lead to successful prosecution of corrupt people in a Salone. So you get for give people in that assurance day. Otherwise, it will be very difficult given the fact that people are no say politicians, they're very dangerous. It's not easy for like then in the all water. Let somebody say I go take the risk. Because the ACC, yes, it's really nice. We then put them in paper. Say if for protect whistleblowers them. But I don't think we get that mechanism there established enough for able to protect whistleblowers them. So, and people them definitely get for be comfortable, say, and yes, then go protect me if I leak this information. Because talk and go, talk and come. I don't feel say now waiting some people and go say Congosa or Badat and stuff. Now we country. If we know of anybody we engage in corruption, we all get the obligation, my brothers and sisters, for go lay complaint, for go report them people in the that now puts the country first. So my brother, I agree with you, say yes, therefore do that, but I not say it impossible. I just say no more, it's challenging. To me, not in other way impossible. The probability can be close to zero, but everything possible. As long as it not be zero, it means it possible. So it possible, but it very difficult for implement. So now that sort of mean by that message day. So I hope you get right, you get clear, And we want for also go to another comment where na YouTube, and we display that comment there for una as well, because it's nice for we they recognize we YouTube brothers and sisters. And this YouTuber, the person where they watch me on YouTube, thank you so much, Robert Kagbo. You say it will be good for this laws to be posted on the port of entry for visitors to know. Okay, well, that's another wonderful take, though. I like the way where you put them, though, because really a nice for. But again, when you go to any country, now your responsibility for make sure say you understand the laws. Them again, as Denki say, ignorant of the law, not to excuse. Remember that. When Denki say that, so let we not use that as an excuse, because ignorant of the law, not to excuse. So, but thank you so much to we brother for this wonderful point where you make, and a great point I must add. So thank you so much. And we get a caller on the line. Let me take this call, and I will go back to una comments them as we progress. VOS Network. Hello caller, what's your name and who say they call from, please?
Mina Bendo, I call from New York.
Hello, brother Bendo. Thank you so much for where you join we. What's your take on this issue tonight, sir?
I just feel say I'm very, very much aware. I feel so, really it's like I really be one for let this thing happen, because I know me right now I don't even want to know how it take for to fight corruption in that country, because we don't say even with the guy they put all the maximum effort for fight the corruption. Look what don't happen recently as day before yesterday, the guy they try for distract them guy they are from their corrupt activities them. But it's like the more the guy they try, the more the thing they expose more and more. So we think say people in the society we're really not willing for, abide to the rules and regulation at the country. They want to do things them on their own in the name of poverty or in the name of, the ground dry, whatever. I just feel say them for take whatever tools necessary for take for fight this corruption, will fight them. We don't want to know right now the thing where they go on, people need to cry, oh, this, that, because of this, the other people then write. The other people then write with some other people then they cry out for. The people then with them people they also don't deprive. The masses then within the downstairs, within the suffer because of them corrupt activities there. So what's kind of human treatment? Where somebody they go lay down, even get good water for drinker. Where somebody they go lay down at house, even get a good roofing on top of your head. What's kind of human rights abuse way past that one day? So would that be responsible for them here? Now then corrupt officials there, so now they're responsible for the days of the activities of them people they are waiting, they suffer for even get basic needs, then they're not able to accomplish them for the day. So maybe say I know they ever think for them people they talk about human rights. I just want to let them take the law, they implement it fully and without no favor or whatever, but let them implement the law fully. We don't want for even the pick them technical stuff, or if we begin the pick them technical stuff there, the fight against corruption will never forge ahead, because even Yasu, the law not perfect, within America, but the law not too perfect. The way they put them, they say now this we for follow, now this we for follow, and they don't put and say now so for do so. Whether this in favor you or not, they make them broad. If you not go against the law, that law they not get for go follow fall on you. If you follow the procedure, they don't lay out. They all day in white and black. If you follow them, that actually they don't pass. Nothing not get for happen to you as a citizen. But if you don't follow and go do something contrary to the act or the rules that they don't lay down, now any office where you sit down, you go do something contrary. I feel say them go use any necessary tools the way they are available on the possession of the ACC for let them go after you. Because at the end of the day, you don't deprive people. Your rights not even too precious to us. Rather than the one that we talk about rights of human rights, but we just cater for the top one. The way they talk, then we then go hold and then go lock them and sell them, go lay down there for 2 days. We talk and say now then rights. What about the people that we they don't deprive? They not even get good meal for the day. What about the one that they not get good water for drink? What about the one that they don't deprive for get good education? These are all human rights activities, then. But we will just focus on the top one, the way they go, them pop, they say, oh, they not implement the law, they not follow the law. We then be sitting at their office then and they cheat on people them. They don't want no say law day. So Mr. can say let ACC use all the necessary tools the way they available, as long as they're not biased, they're not they choose whether they will follow, they implement that to anybody, whether it concern you right now or if you not follow procedures, we don't want to know about that. Let them implement the law without fear and favor. Now that's not my own contribution, but law not go to pick. If technical have stuff they will pick them, the fight against corruption, people then go always take and say they get people the way they on their side. You know, then get excuse then we then get for good they make. At the end of the day, we not get nowhere for go with the fight against corruption. I mean, take that. Thank you.
Mr. Bendu, thank you so much. I see you right at the thread and say we did allow the calls them. No, my brother, I will not go deliberately decide not to take calls them. And unfortunately, you don't hang up. One other thing I want to ask you, you say the technicalities them and stuff. Yes, we all want for let them fit, and you also make another point where you talk say let it not be biased. So now that's not the key. Now then they very difficult for determine, and that's make with a sound off because we not want let them give the ACC. Remember, the ACC boss the maximum time it can do now 10 years. 2 terms, so each 5-year term, so 2 terms according to the act. No matter how good he be, just like the president, no matter how he be a messiah for Salone, a maximum of 10 years. So we don't want say, oh well, after Ben Kelfala Komode, we drop. We begin worry about some of them tier where they go on. So now we need for address them. Let we not give them so much power. To me, not to Ben Kelfala now the position I they talk about. But let we take this call. I will come back for finalize the point where they try for make. VOS Network. Hello caller. What's your name and who say they call from, please?
So I do.
And they do well, Sisi. I can't recognize the voice, but yeah, for the benefit of the people, let we know that now you.
Well, this is Samakpaka of the SLPP.
All right, well, go ahead, Sisi. Thank you so much. So, what's your take on this ACC, the anti-corruption new laws, them, the strength of that position there?
First of all, I always will say thanks to you for you can give me this opportunity for come online and follow up putting the happen at the country. Thank you for this. Nothing we don't do for a very long time. But we don't get these laws that have been passed by the parliament for a very long time, but due to politics and certain people and they will not be really one for sitting a photo. I think Ben did a very good job. But if there's anything for come through, we must get the will for making things and they go through. And the government ain't go get that will they ain't go get the support, they ain't go be behind that for making things and they go through. And we see how anything they happen right now because the president and the administration, then they on the front line for make sure see corruption be eradicated in our communities and our country. So I mean, I'm very much glad to see the laws they come into effect through the parliament and through the hard work of the president and the administration. We're very glad to see the laws they are not only being put in place, but they could be effective where people will try for be into politics or held positions, then they try for enrich themselves through corruption. I mean, they're going to be held accountable. We're glad if we actually glad to see things here that take place right now in our country.
Great point, and thank you so much. And this is wonderful, and plenty of people are going to agree with you, including myself. Say this, I go say now win for Salone, particularly.
Exactly.
Yes, particularly where all the parties them unanimously agree. So that's now one thing we are so glad for, because politics too tense in that country. That even something we get for benefit the country, people that they put party business before, politics into it, and not do them. So for the fact say yes, for the fact say all the parties they agree, say it necessary for for strengthening the laws them, I think say a win for every Sierra Leonean, including them we pass them. So thank you.
Exactly. Just like I say, we can't forget the will. We can't forget the will for make sure say things that happen at the country. Because the mere fact that them laws that don't can be drafted by the new administration and they don't go through parliament, they don't pass them. I mean, this year for them to happen for a very long time. The Anti-Corruption Act of 2008, it get a lot of loopholes. The anti-corruption will get a lot of strength to go after people. Even though then they accuse people of corruption, but the law can be very, very scanty for go behind people that for bring into book. So with the amendment there, with the clauses there where they don't put in, I think it is in the right direction for make sure people we involved in corruption then be held accountable.
Absolutely.
We're very glad to see that.
Absolutely. But actually though, the 2008 anti-corruption laws be tough though. This make them tougher, but it be still tough. So
I agree with you.
Thank you very much. Let me.
All right,
yes, God bless.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you too. All right, let me hear from another Sierra Leonean VOS network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say the call from, please?
Nabendu, you say if you want to try to follow me, where I don't drop the call.
Yes. No, I will just the sort of emphasize on the point that where you say the anti-corruption for Duam with fairness. I like that point. Another point there, but I emphasize. And where you talk about say, let we not go too deep into the technicalities. But Abendu, I want to let you know say we all know Sierra Leoneans them. In nice way they accuse you for the way indeed you guilty of. But waiting on nice is because you not get influence. And then they talk more of for the people that we get political affiliation, we get influence and stuff. Me most times when I sit on this chair, I talk on behalf of that person, we don't get any influence at all. We all know say you get boku people and somebody be right now the thread say during the rebel war, somebody when you know like you they go point and say a rebel. When I lie you lie Panam. And some people they lost their life because of that. So now some of them think if we not do due diligence, we go down see boku innocent people and suffer. So who that get for make that not happen? Now the law for make sure say we go into all the technicalities then we not go after somebody because it belong to a different political party or because you know like them. So we want to make sure say every Sierra Leonean depend regardless of your tribe, the region where you come up from, the party where you affiliated with, you forget the full like protection of the law. Now that's what they say. So I just be the emphasize.
Yeah, but maybe they say for story. Not to like we talk and so I believe exactly what it and I understand exactly which side they come from. We see how they for say no more. The law is meant to be ambiguity. There's supposed to be an ambiguity there. If not, everybody can just go sit down and then, explain the law. That's why we have a professional. We have people that we are experts on the inside and at the same time again, I think say what we all for focus on. Let we focus on the issue of the law for be applied equally, right? Because if they go do and for favor anybody, if they go apply the law for favor the masses that we then they down there, I think say it could be better for we, because at the end of the day, people that when they go eat their money there, so they they go do and for anybody where they down there, and for their own and their family then, which of course the masses and get for suffer. So where we talk no more, the way we get for good explain to people then is that, like, if the anti-corruption therefore really come for fight the corruption, it get for fight them in the way we be say it go after anybody we involved in any corrupt practices without fear or favor, right? If they apply that one, they no more all the ambiguities the way then the courts now get for prove them people then they innocent or find them guilty, because at the end of the day the law is meant to be difficult to explain to the main people then, but at the same time, people then they will therefore justify whatever incident that happened. If they find you guilty, they find you guilty. If you are innocent, you are innocent, right? I believe say they're not going to just go on one count and then go put you in a jail. They get for follow due process, all anything and they get for this. So let's see how they talk no more. Now I be the talk say if you follow the technicality, trust me, then people there they go always get hold them for escape at the end of the day, because there will be little things where they say you go see and say now a minor technicality, which of course the broad angle is you see the corruption right there, but that little angle, if you follow and say to the in-depth, there is nothing will come out of it, because they always have a way to escape. This now may not happen, right? Even when they find them guilty, at the end of the day, then they go pay money where they say not commensurate to the money where they don't take at the country from the coffer. So at the end of the day, then they go take half of maybe 1%, then go settle that fine where they don't go get it, or that guilty plea where they go plead. So at the end of the day, we not get nothing for benefit. So now make a we are just for talk say we are say technicality, not in the case like we should not debate about it. But at the end of the day, let left hand to the hand of the judiciary, let them take care of that. Because me and you, we can just talk, and then in the layman point of view, but at the same time we have experts then we can get for good to go see. If these people do this in the intent of corrupting the state, you get for go pay for that. So now that no more maybe they try for say. I don't know how we say
and you I agree with you 100%. Where you talk about say that free and fair without any biasness, for be free and fair. I'm glad where you put them so. But we all know the problem na Salone. The judiciary is not independent. So if the judiciary be independent, absolutely, for put with faith in them, say, then go interpret the law accordingly for favor everybody. I for be glad for that. But because of, and by the way though, a constitution, na a document, we're not supposed to be ambiguous at all. So that one day, I disagree with you there. You're supposed for able read them as a layman. Most of it you understand them. And that make them say ignorant of the law not to excuse, because they expect you to understand the law.
Well, so, see you. Give me one. Well, let me just make this. We are in the world where you don't ever see the Constitution is straightforward, like everybody just interprets it. Not so the Supreme Court or whatever court can go and then sit down, and even here in America, right? We think happen concerning the Constitution. People that win learning people then, right? Yeah, they can divide in the oil, for discuss the issue. Then some they can say no, not so it is. Some say no, not so it is. If it will mean into the read them, we they interpret based on your understanding. But then they put clause them where they say they can say now how you read them, but not to how you read them actually not so it meant for be. Let me say we get expert them. Yes, and Constitution always have some amount of ambiguity. If you watch all over the world. No, I don't know. But all over the world, we they see like nobody no go ever can say, and everybody come unanimously say. So the Constitution say always have opposing views or different views out in the interpreter. Now make we get people that we not experts that we sit down up here for let them interpret and to we. Because if you left to me and to trust me, you can read this sentence in any amendment or whatever chapter of the Constitution. You interpret it your way. I can come and also deviate from that. All the Constitution, even here in America, I don't know. Even look, for example, the Second Amendment in America. Second Amendment, me and Tuki read them. That's not if you did there. But other people then can come and they read it their own way, and then they can take it all the way to the Supreme Court. You know, but the thing is, there is right, it's written black and white. But they have their own way for manipulate, for letting interpret and way they want for interpret them. And then I don't know if they try for favor somebody or then they try for interpreter according to the knowledge we then get. I don't know about that.
Yes, I understand the point where you did make, but where you they say the deliberate intention of for make it ambiguous. Now that clarification.
No, I don't know. I don't go say deliberate. No, I'm not saying deliberate. I say like mostly it become ambiguous, and then it ought to be ambiguous because it involves experts then.
Now,
because
waiting I want
to like if you just sit on more in the public court of opinion who convict somebody. Not so easy.
Well, just allow me to make a point, Naya, sir. The point where I they make Naya is usai necessary for making clear. If you watch the Constitution of U.S., for example, not a lengthy document at all. Yes, the interpretation, because as human being, just like how we be talk about Ben Kelfala, when you read that particular clause D, you don't need for be a lawyer for no very well say Mr. Ben Kelfala, to me, in my opinion, really, where you say everything necessary, and I feel say that thing where you do parent teach against them teachers then they that's something where you go put as part of the interpretation of that clause day. But it do because it want something we go justify an action, and people like can do that, whether deliberate or otherwise, they can do them. So that make the Supreme Court today. So the Supreme Court, you key able interpret them correctly. But for like we able fully say now the only interpretation of this Constitution that the Supreme Court forget the final say of it. Because the lawyers their self can get the interpretation, but your interpretation no go all water whether it correct or not. So but for say the yes, it forget ambiguities. But their ambiguities then they not for be so much as it be in our Constitution. Otherwise, why then for say ignorant of the law is no excuse? If we not able for really understand them, like especially most of the areas them, like we involve we own obligations, rights and obligations as citizens. They expect we to understand in a layman way some of them caveats then they. Now where you go deep now, the gray areas them will require interpretation from the Supreme Court, then they push them to the Supreme Court. But they expect you for no say where, for example, president they come or certain things then they as a citizen. Now you obligations. And we also get right. You need for know their rights then they. You don't get for say no, I dey wait, let the Supreme Court interpret them for me before I abide by the law. So how you go abide by something when you don't even know what it mean? So we suppose forget at least limited understanding of the laws. For let we able abide by the laws. You didn't get to the point where they make. So you not go say with a wait till Supreme Court interpret them for we, like where they don't put this out so. Supreme Court no go for come and say, oh now this you mean now this. No. Then just they put publish on the Gazette. So as long as it don't become law.
I believe say when they create that act say I hope say not to for let ACC go to implement the laws them. Because then the responsibility them now for just investigate. We they don't investigate, now for send and go to court. I'm just hoping and praying they are not going to be the judges and the investigators at the same time. So if that's not the case, then when they don't investigate and send everything to the court, maybe we can get some relief. Say, okay, after they don't investigate, they don't go prosecute somebody. Let the court go do that. Let the court bear that responsibility there. Because if you don't investigate and you go prosecute, you come with some amount of compromise, whatever. But let's just take and say, like, what them you don't go do to them teachers them, because now if like they don't find the teacher then guilty already, which not called for. We may not be in favor of that. I support the fight against the corruption, but it will be like a due process, you know. They investigate and then they send the matter to the court, and then let the court take care of the rest. So now that no more me they hope for, you know. Me not be glad for that. I believe say that they for don't distract. If you don't do in black and white. Like they say, we catch somebody for parade them after they don't find them guilty. That's nice. I don't get mind for abide with that, but they not be in white and black, and at the same time they not be take them people that get to court for due process. So and we just go and then catch them and parade them and then shame them, which is violate their own constitutional rights.
Thank you.
So we all not abide to that. But what they say no more. If you don't do in white and black, then we just take and say, we don't investigate and not get forbid the prosecutors there at the same time. That's why we have people that they check them. We have the journalists there, we have the bar association, we have even the public opinion then. Then the public opinion was so huge in the cry out of that act day. So I believe say check and balances and they, you know, they like in the we go do something, not maybe in the kitchen, no more, they go all out. Now the public they watch, even the social media, if you put back pressure on people then right now.
Well, Mr. Bendu, thank you so much. You really don't come to some of the concerns them where me and other people in the get. Because to me, I don't get anything against Mr. Ben Kelfala. And a fine gentleman and a Sierra Leonean, we're all for proud of as Sierra Leoneans. But the fact of the matter is, everything in life, we not human beings them. We by nature, we're selfish, we're greedy. Regardless of the color, it even happen here. The difference between here and Africa, here where the law bet you, regardless of your position, it bet you hard. But Africa now, your position, they make you in a way immune from the laws. So that's not the kind of thing way I want to let we emphasize now. Say the implementation now the issue. Not to fall past the law, not to the laws them, but the laws then they already. But plenty of their laws then they cherry pick who that if or bet. But thank you. Let me go to the last caller for tonight. But thank you so much for your contribution. And I see somebody even say your contribution are the best for the night. So thank you for that. And let God bless Mr. Bendu. Thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's take the last call for tonight. VOS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting on your name and who say the call from, please?
Yes, good evening. This is Bendu. I call from Kansas City.
Oh, okay. So we just do up Mr. Bendu and now Madam Bendu. Okay, wonderful. So thank you so much, Sister Bendu. And how do they feel now?
Oh, much better, much better.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, to God be the glory. So what did you take on this as a wonderful thing we all see, according to the report, all the parties then at Parliament approve this law. So what do you make of it as a Sierra Leonean, not a politician? Over to you, ma'am. Okay. Sister.
Well, first of all, I want to tell Mr. Ben Kelfala plenty thank you for an effort where he don't put in pushing for some of them things like that for go through the Parliament. And me go tell and thank you particularly because somebody say, oh, like in job. Almost people in the salon we get job where then they pay them where they're not effective in the position. So me go tell and plenty thank you. But I still want to tell we parliamentarians then thank you. We then collectively come together and see and speak. Say this nothing where it don't long overdue for let them do and when they don't come together and do them. The only thing when me go say in my own layman term, may nobody no day above the law. Let it get all men equally. Just look how much it takes to bloggers them for shake all the Sierra Leoneans, regardless of their party affiliation. Look what it takes for let it shake all man. So they will all let this then know they are in the past, let it shake we all, for let we all be very proactive, for let we see as they it work and let it work for the benefit of the country. Also for just would I not get political connection or would I not the poorest person, but let it work for we all. Now that's me they pray God for. And I'm glad for what they all do when our award then come. It's about time. I mean, we don't get other people that we don't take that position there. It's not happening. So it's still better late than never. I got it on my own take. Thank you.
That's wonderful. You said it all. And thank you as always, Sister Bendu. And this are some of the things that we all they pray. And where I start, I'm making clear, say we all for be, we for really be thankful for where Parliament, all the parties them come together and say yes to Mr. Ben Kelfala. So you didn't have the right track. We go give you additional powers for strengthening your position, for let we go after corrupt people. And so thank you so much, Sister Bendu, for that contribution day. So let we take, we say that will be the last call, but we'll get one more call. Let we take them and then we'll go wrap up for tonight. VOS Network, hello caller, what's in your name and who say the call from, please?
Hi, CEO, this is Richard Gauja from New Jersey.
Hello, Brother Richard. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were in the end you call. And as always, your contributions stay valuable. So go ahead. What's in your additional contributions tonight? Go ahead, please, brother.
Yes, I just want to say it's a good program where you get tonight, but it's rather unfortunate that the thing can skew towards the technicality instead of we talk about the merit of the law. You know? This, for the past years, we don't see that the country where people and they refer to the Anti-Corruption Commission as a toothless dog. Why? Because there were certain things they were never for do. Even though they say they for fight corruption, but there were certain limitations that they get. So, but with this law now we don't come into being, I believe that they don't give them more power for make them go after corrupt people and to make them fight corruption. And just as we talked earlier, about the OTC when they left. Even in America here, most of the laws then get loopholes. And now because of them loopholes and they make all the time they in a court for make the court do interpretation. You can't put everything on paper as CEO. You know, you go try, but as time they go by, technology they improve, so many things and they improve. People and they find different wisdom for make them balance the law, for make them do something with the law will catch them. So if you say they put everything on paper, and not all the time when you go to the kind of parliament, so can do an amendment every year or every 6 months or every 3 months. Okay, we don't discover a new method of fighting corruption, or don't discover a way that we put and they try for balance the law, and people let them corrupt, then say get lawyers them, where they know the law better one, where they challenge them and then if you don't get the guy that they investigate the system, they find some people and say, okay, this is why the fall victim of a corrupt practice, then can they win a court? It's up to the court for do the interpretation, for either find the person guilty or for freedom. You know, so I know it's really rather unfortunate that we spend a lot of time to talk about the technicality, and instead of we talk about the merit, instead also we never forget the law, you know, for display the law itself. Make we go over and let everybody see what they actually include by the whole act. Now that's what I just for say. And even like for example, you talk about the sacking of Sansumana. What's an Escobar the whole? They say if it belongs to a political party. And Sansumana, your lawyers, they them tell we. They say no. That one was just a requirement for becoming vice president. It's not a continuous requirement. It was just for let you just become a vice president, for make you become a president, you have to belong to a political party. It's not a continuous thing. That was the argument that we made.
Okay.
And when they go to the ECOWAS court, what do we see? We see a different outcome.
Okay, so
you know, so there are always loopholes in every legislation in the past.
Yes.
So you never say everything else for the straightforward where everybody get for us. No, because people then they always try to find ways for go around the law.
Okay, brother Gauja, brother Richard, I'm so glad where you come on the air, and I will kind of also go back to Mr. Alfred Johnson. Whereas I don't know when you'll be joining the program, where I start the program, I give huge kudos, and I even explain the areas them were very clear, like that one where they say, you know, for only receive, for the fact say you solicit, like you ask, whether they give or not.
That's the intent. You get to look behind the intent.
Exactly. So it's very clear. And waiting I say because the president no sign on it, and I'm not able to get access to him, but where I get access to him, I will come back and look at the different components them of that new laws day. Now, just based on the article, but you know, to anything, because of the political situation of that country, we get for be cautious. You get boku laws them. Guess what? The laws them that they be treated by politicians them. Where like how you talk. I remember the previous administration. Few people them top people in the administration where after President Kaba, where former President Kuruma come. He say he strengthened, and indeed he strengthened the anti-corruption act, and he make all them claims here. Say now it will be expensive for engaging in corruption. We don't give them power and stuff. But what think can happen? When President Bill come, this not a political something. No, when President Bill come, the first thing what he do. And not go according to the the anti-corruption act say. So if they don't strengthen the anti-corruption act, say this possible they add them with in deputy, therefore be independent. Then a president come, it take away that independence day.
But see, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Those people that be sacked at the anti-corruption, are they independent?
I know they talk about the people where he sack. Are they talk about
this is the thing. Because most people they say the only people all of these people they are different like what you see Ben Kaifala now. All of these people we are seeing them with an instrument campaigning. Mr. Richard, these people we are spending money and then you say I'm fighting corruption.
Brother Richard,
and then they see you with the executive all over the place.
Brother Richard.
So how can you say such a person is independent?
Brother Richard, anytime we do anytime we do this kind of analysis where they do so, that country they go beyond. When you say
no, they go behind.
No, it go
but
no, it go behind. No, it go
follow up on social media properly. But some of those they follow social media, we are seeing these guys anywhere the president is. They see the other. If you qualify Kuruma, who was in charge of immigration.
So you want
campaigning now. They are going out for campaigning.
You want to answer the question?
You know, and then you say, "Oh, I got tenure of office." Tenure of security also.
So now that justification that you want put forward for let politicians then go they use the constitution as toilet roll. Like for user how they want, because then say, oh, that other person is support another party and stuff. Now that kind of arguments they will need for put
you have to be neutral. If I don't talk something, you have to be neutral.
No. But
if you show up that party, it belongs to a party. But example, it get for autism. But if you say all the time, you did a party office, you did that autism, people that you see up and down. Where is the neutrality?
Mr. Richard.
If Ben Kaifala do the same thing now because of the appointment, will you see Ben Kaifala do the MBO up and down? Some of you will come out. I'm not saying people support that. Some of you will come out and condemn them. Because you know for do that if you don't have the appointment. But in order for the BNB all of a sudden, or it can belong to the SFP party. then we will be biased.
Mr. Richard, Brother Richard.
Yes, sir.
If you ask people them we not get the same sentiment as you, then go tell you say Ben Kelfala na SLPP it is support. Just like how you they claim say the previous ACC boss now APC it is support. So you ask people then when they see the same way as you they see Ben Kelfala, then go tell you that. So not all people need for assess say Ben Kelfala na SLPP or APC and stuff. The law need for protect them. Whether it is support SLPP or whatnot, if then the president, it is very clearly now the Anti-Corruption Act of 2008, how you they remove the ACC boss, it did it very clearly. So with that clear indication, and one area that will not be ambitious. Sorry?
There is a process here, there is a process. That process they also include misconduct. If somebody do misconduct, you don't get to left family because you get fed of office.
Wait, you go read them. We don't show people them. I don't want for let we go into this. Like how you say, I want for let we emphasize on the beauty where all the parliamentarians then come together and push things them for like they minimize corruption in that country. Then we all agree with it, and the parliamentarians they all agree with it. So as I say, then therefore be a kudos to every Sierra Leoneans, including the parliamentarians and also the ACC and even the president. But waiting at they say is
and the reason for this CEO, because corruption it don't affect we all. Either they in and out of Salone, that the corruption it don't affect we all. So there is no surprise to we most of them parliamentarians they come together and they try to pass them kind laws they have to. Well, people are not suffer for a very long time, and they still continue for suffer. So hopefully we go try for the see other ways them, and then if you like when you talk about the judiciary also, these are other areas they give. I believe they count some laws them together, but make them try for make an independent. I believe them will forget their concession.
Well, that you don't come back to me point. For let them make them independent. Where the law cannot say there are particular positions here for be independent. What in the politicians that they do? That they politicize their institutions today, and as a result, sort of impose the influence. And where that happened, I give example where former President Koroma became. They say all kind of things for fight corruption, and even all them tier like as the year 2008 would that be the former President Koroma. Plenty of the 2008 Act now addition to waiting President Kaba we don't start. But even with that, waiting can happen. We all know the crisis they be corrupt. So meaning that the lobby did it, but the implementation was weak because them politicized the institutions. So now down there we for make sure say that we institutions here they not be touched by the politicians. They remain independent. Let we not say because now we party in our power, so then they violate the constitution. When we assess or we analyze things then so, the country they go before. Because if other party come, then self go use the same talking point. Say, oh, now because of every day rally for this party, that party there, that make you pull them. Not to any sober reason. Not a sober reason at all. So we must stop that.
To work on that because the cry when the APC they cry today, if the APC before made the judiciary independent in the first place, today they're not for the talk the judiciary biased towards them.
Well, now that
can also serve an example for this current administration going forward. They're not going to be there forever.
Fine.
They therefore go out another one day.
Thank
and the
you.
next government they come up, not trying to make her independent. It's the same thing. The police get for turn against Una, or the judiciary get for turn against Una as some of them they claim.
So thank you so much, my brother. And
when some of we don't agree with that notion, there.
Perfect. So now down there, every Sierra Leoneans don't tired of. So we want to make the system there in place where if President Bio, because now, as I say, maximum 10 years, where President Bio Commodi, even if now SLPP administration, do not forego after him based on party lines. So that's what the therefore say. So to me, you know, for right now, the current administration, now they don't they in power with social media very, very vocal. Where people are vocal on social media. But if we get it right now, under President Bill, after President Bill, let we not put system in place that where the next person come, he'll do everything because he feels that the Constitution give that power there. At that point that they make. So not to on party line. Now that make where I be they talk about this particular addition. I don't talk about Ben Kelfala unilaterally. I talk about the position. So the position we always for maintain them, for be independent. Regardless of say, oh, I be see that person they rallying for that party and stuff. You get process. Use that for talk to Parliament. Go to Parliament according to the process. Where you don't set up the tribunal, waiting they recommend, you bring that recommendation there to Parliament. And then Parliament pass a 2/3 majority for removal. Now that's not the process. And he did it clearly. Now one process that we're not ambiguous at all. It's stated there, line by line, the steps that we for take. But it don't necessarily mean say because not be elect the person we did, so it's justifiable for Pulam unlawfully. That's wrong. So that's how they say. So me don't
but
care. I don't look at repeatedly.
You can be a party member, but don't identify yourself publicly.
That's
like
one,
here we see American also like the former FBI director. Even though he was a Republican, but when Obama came, he appointed him. He was there. Most people know that be a Republican, but he was so active in the Republican Party.
Wonderful.
And we see other cancer at the end of the day. That's Donald Trump.
Wonderful. And
Donald Trump. Even though we get tenure of office, but because the CC go above the UTSF in limits about the Hillary Clinton issue or this and that, the Russia, wait another discussion for another day. But in tenure of office, not on the firearm.
No, wait. Comey is different. Donald Trump gets the constitutional backing for Saka. So now the difference that though, he gets a tenure. But
he also began a tenure of office.
He gets a tenure, but that tenure they not be secured by the Constitution. Unlike the ACC, it's safe that you get ways for removal. You know, they say power if for finish in term. But if you want to remove them before in term, you get the process. So now that process then the president bridge. But anyway, let me take the last call. We'll get a caller on the line. But thank you so much. I went where we they argue about, where we they discuss, because we not see this as argument, where they discuss how for push we country go before. If we can shift away small from party affiliation.
The one that we country, especially like the land issue that we talk about the other day, if you go buy land under somebody, the way to say it also you don't get the cash for can fighting for them. Instead of get the land. All these are issues that we got for tackle as a nation.
Thank you so much. Great way.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, great way for Endam. Thank you so much. And that way that we need for look at issues then as Salone. Let we look at issues then as Salone as issues the way they affect me and you too, regardless of a political affiliation. But if we they put party lens, we they miss them, and then politicians then go continue for mess that country they up. So we need for stand up and say no. If even you not like the person way they did, but if them pull them in the wrong way, say no to it. And they appeal to everybody now. But not say because I not fambuluta I not like them, I glad the way them pull them, they even though not to the right way them pull them. If we begin to do that, that country they not go before. So thank you so much, my brother. Let God bless you.
Yes,
have a good night, sir. So we're so sorry. We will be there for take the call. The last call will be getting drop. But let's answer this. We brought a right message now. When Alfred Johnson said, Mr. CEO, I don't understand your take in this discussion. Are you against the new Anti-Corruption Act passed by Parliament? The answer is no. And then you continue to say this should not be based on political views, but should be executed and interpreted by an independent arm of government, which is the judiciary. Previous administrations were not proactive and did not take corruption laws seriously. This current administration means business, and whoever breaks the anti-corruption laws should be dealt with the fullest extent of the law. I understand your frustration, but if the Supreme Court reviews the Anti-Corruption Act and discovers that some clauses do not make sense, then it is the place of the court to request further amendments. Thank you so much, my brother. But again, the answer to that question, no. I believe so you come late. Where I will start the discussion and make it clear. So this now win for every Sierra Leoneans. But that's not the first time. Before I repeat, before after President Kaba, former president, late President Kaba, in soul rest in peace. Now, he in fact bring this Anti-Corruption Act. Now, he set this Anti-Corruption Commission, this body. So the laws them not be strong enough. So former President Koroma came, he passed the law, he even strengthened the act there. But today, what you see, the policy will be head. And the first head of it, he ended up for game as Attorney General when JFK in short. And then after which, this person way did it so now way President Biopul. So then people and they end up like JFK. We all know say at one point it be even aspire for be flag bearer. So now be strong APC person. Absolutely. But the point where they make now is, where did they make them laws then they? If they not implement them, and they make that particular agency the independent, all the additional laws there, they're meaningless. Because we don't see them. And we all know President Koroma, former President Koroma, where we say it is strengthening the Anti-Corruption Commission for go after corrupt people them. Now we end up for the accused in administration of corruption. So what did that tell you? Even though it strengthened the Anti-Corruption Act, but because of them politicize them, because of the implementation not be so rigid, what think can happen? They not implement them in a way that it go bet them. It be meaningless. So now, Brother Gauja say all along the anti-corruption be don't be toothless bulldog or something like that. But guess what? It still go repeat itself. If fine, they don't give additional laws them, but if they lost then politicize them and use them laws then they for only go after your opposition. Somebody when not in your party or somebody where you not like, rather than for help push the country go before, it will be meaningless. So now that's not the caveat where me want for end this show with. Say we for all gladdy where then give the anti-corruption additional mandate and for let it use them like one we brother Bendu. It say it hope say them go use this additional law for go after whoever they say corrupt, regardless of your party affiliation, regardless of your tribe, regardless of the region where you come out. If they do that, the Anti-Corruption Commission will continue for win the heart and soul of Sierra Leoneans them. To me, it no matter who that they do. As long as they implement their laws here to the letter, I go gladly. But let them not use them as a political tool for go only after people that we don't know like or we not belong to the party. Now that caution they, and that make them very clear. Say every Sierra Leonean for gladly, because all the parties them agree on these on their amendments here. So I don't feel say now my position unclear where are they make now. It's very clear. The position is we put Salone first. Let we not use them we institutions here for score political points, for go intimidate you party opponent or you political opponent. If we do that, it's completely wrong. So now that make first. We for make them say, I don't know if it go be the last because a precedent don't set where President Bio fire the former ACC boss. Then they by itself don't weaken the independence of that institution day. So we for condemn that. And maybe hope say part of the additional strength of this act. Now for make them very clearly, like how it clear in the Bank Act, say the president not get the mandate for remove the bank governor. It did in the Bank Act. Therefore, make them back clearly, even though they put the process with which they remove the ACC boss and in deputy, but the need for make them clear. But point them to the president. Say the president not get the mandate for remove them without the approval of the parliament. They need for do that. So to me, it's just unfortunate, but maybe feel say therefore Adam Day. So it make them clear. Say whether not President Bio or other president. When Ben Kelfala don't they so. If President Bio not like out Ben Kelfala, they go after corrupt people them, let the constitution make them almost impossible for them without parliament approval. 2/3 majority, President Bio not forget any mandate for fire Ben Kelfala if you know like what Ben Kelfala they do. But for right now as is, the precedent the way it don't set so. If Ben Kelfala use this tool, go after people them where President Bio want for protect, that's the way it don't start, it go fire them. So me fumble them, this go all water? Absolutely not. So that them points then they make. It no matter whose political party they as long as their institutions are not independent. My brothers and sisters, it no matter whose kind position, whose kind additional power, it will just be used as a political tool. And that's my caution to the ACC, to the president, to the judiciary, to even parliament. Say the need for make sure say, like how they don't pass them unanimously, if any obstruction one come from the president or any other person, use him higher power, like how we talk about power from the above. Let parliament stand up and say no. And I go tell you now one, I go kind of make a clear tone and here. If parliament, the term where president, let's go back to former President Koroma, where former President Koroma fire and then bank governor. If parliament at the time for say no, we need to confirm this person where you want for replace because you not go through the due process for remove the old one. We fumble them una feel say and parliament get a right there, then get the authority there. Una feel say the president them where will they get? Therefore abuse the constitution like that? Absolutely not. But unfortunately, President Koroma come, he fire somebody where you not get a mandate for fire. Now, by extension, President Bio don't do that. And where people they want for talk say no, you don't violate the constitution. He say waiting why people are not be speak up. Where former President Koroma do. So now so we get for go. So me fambulele we say no. A need for start somewhere. And let's start now. Let we not wait say after we party commodity, the next person where they come, now it will put pressure on for let it implement them. If we do that, we don't will ever able to implement anything that our country they will meaningful. So we need for start time. Now we own party. Let we set that good example where we all go left the legacy. Say yes, now during this administration, just like how we point to President Kaba in administration, where we say now during the administration, he introduced the ACC Commission. And kudos to him for that initiative there. But yet what think can happen? When President Koma came, he even accused President Kaba in administration of corruption and called them all kind of names. And the same thing that happen now. Where in the President Koma, we call President Kaba the administration, and people we work in that administration, they all kind names in terms of corruption. So in now where it be kind of don't give the people the impression say they come for clean the system, for drain the swamp. Now in with the accuse of corruption within people. So we want for let this thing they go on end. So tomorrow back, the way they come, now the 10 now will go after President Bill with the administration, say they be corrupt after the left there. My brothers and sisters, my last word is, we all for say kudos, where they extend the powers them, but at the same time, let we put party aside and let we push the country go before. And how will they do that? Now for all the people that were responsible, accountable. The people that were supposed for push and punish the people where they corrupt the country, the way they embezzle the country in money. And another last thing though, people that way be see where I be display the article. The article talk about one of the powers, additional powers them, say the ACC gets the power for cancel any contract if they get evidence say that contract then give that contract in a corrupt way. So fumble them. It nice in theory, but in practice, how you go implement that? So why we not think about say instead of give that responsibility there to the ACC, why each department not forget procure? I should say they get already, but why the procurement offices or departments they not for look at them process and streamline them processes then they and make sure say they get proper oversight. Then get proper process where the minister no get for say, oh no worry, I get them covered. It's sign and in kind of sign and give out contract. Not to the minister in job for sign and give contract. Not to any other person in job other than the procurement department. For me experience in Canada, yeah, where you want something, if now somebody you want hire, if now contractor you want and stuff, you go through the process, and after where you don't do all the necessary in terms of the technical aspect, you don't give the criteria of the people that way they look for or the contractor, you send and go to the procurement people them. Then post them and then get them candidates them, and you will want the people them. You do the interview. After the interview, you don't determine who are the best candidates for that contract there. The procurement take them back from you and do the necessary process for award the contract. So you don't get no hands. You just they give them the criteria of the person or the contractor where they look for. But Salone, the minister now ain't go end up for sign. The people that we not necessarily need for sign, now then go tell you say, oh no worry. So no oversight. So how anti-corruption go fix that? How anti-corruption go able no all the procurement processes for let them say they go hold on a particular process. Not to work for anti-corruption. So fix the institutions. Go down to each department. Put the system in place where then people in there, you know, send out the process. If you don't go through the process, then automatically you can be disqualified. If anti-corruption, even when you don't get the contract, anti-corruption can go and reverse that because you don't go through the proper process. So that way they're easier. Rather than anti-corruption be the people, the institution or the agency where for stop the contract not for be awarded in the first place if you go through the proper procurement process. No minister no forget influence for make somebody get a contract. No. So that way they. Yes, it not going to be zero corruption, but the corruption it will minimize. Because I strongly believe, say, Bokutin they were read about Salone. About 70% of the corrupt practices it happen as a result of procurement processes. Now, within the procurement processes, most of the corrupt practices they happen. But how we go able to contain that? We need for put structure in place where the procurement process is transparent and the people them where I go give you an example so that way they will go get a clear understanding. Not too long ago I be sit down a kind of panel where we be look for contract on our department. I be part of it. We get I think about 6 or 8 bidders them. We go through all. We score each one. And within the procurement departments tell we say we for keep we records. Even where we don't submit we individual scores, we also need for keep them. And waiting and tell we in addition, then say we need for keep them because the people that will not get the contract, then get the right for ask we for let we debrief them. How we assess, how we make we assessment. Why candidate A get the contract? See? So then get the right for ask we for challenge the way we choose the winner. Salone, that's they happen. Just imagine, not a we award them the contract. We just score based on we score procurement contact the winner. Just imagine, now procurement contacts them, but yet they still get the right, and they even tell we say then documents then go make them public. So any newspaper or media entity go call we and ask we. So then get a period, I think about 3 years. Within 3 years, any media can call me and say, oh, so company get so contract from una department. So you can able to explain to we waiting at the criteria them where it fulfill where the other candidate not able get. I'm not gonna go into the detail, but I will need for tell them exactly waiting at the criteria where that person they get, and that's not transparency and also accountability. So now then thing and they we need for strengthening now that country day if we want for let corruption minimized. So fambul them I go tap day and tell una boku thank you tonight for all the contribution them, and as so we need for do let we address the issues them in a civilized way where we not go cost each other. If we continue for do this, we go put party aside and say let we put the country first, and where we all as a team, as one people, one country, we put the country first, my brothers and sisters, Salone will be a better place. And at the land that way we all sabi. So on behalf of the entire VOS family, I want to say boku thank you to Una and Una family, the VOS family. And I want to say boku thank you to all we presenters them. Let God continue to bless Una all. And again, as I can always say in this media, let God bless the president. Let we pray for him. If he fail, now Salone don't fail. So as a result, let we pray for let succeed. And let him start for clean up that messy Salone where we all not proud of. So let we pray for let succeed. And the people them where they help them for push the country go before, when are in cabinet, let we pray for them as well. Because in one not go able to do the work. And need people them for help and push that country go before. So let we pray for them all. And we judiciary, let we pray for them. Because we say justice not there, peace not go there. Let we pray, let God turn their heart. Let them not just think of their pocket. Let them not just think of their affiliation. Let them put Salone first. Let the poor person in a village, that remote village, let him able get the justice we deserve. So the judiciary, let we pray that independent. As we all they kind of scare, we all not a secret. No say the judiciary not independent. And the people who they make laws, we in a parliament. We suppose for all the president within team accountable. Therefore do oversight. Let God make them continue for do oversight. And let God make them continue for work together. For put Salone first. For let Salone go before. And above all, as I can always say in this media, now one country we get. And not to any other country but Mama Salone. So dear me family, let we pray for let Salone go before, because now the only country that we sabi. Until Monday, we are going to join you again with another edition of Salone Issues. Mina Abdul Karim Kagbo, the founder and CEO of VOS Network. So from them, on our stay tuned tomorrow, we get 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And na Salone it will be 1 o'clock ish. So we go get we check, we go help we with Friday Juma prayer. And people that don't ask say why we need to do things them on Sundays. Dear I beg, if you know any pastor, una send the information to we, let we go reach out so it go also come na VOS for preach to we Christian brothers and sisters. Because Salone, the two major religions them, are Muslim and Islam and Christianity. So dear are big. I don't want way people and they feel say, oh, now that imam no more they come. We need to reach out to the Christian brothers and sisters. Dear are big. If we not know of anybody we're willing for come na VOS and preach the word of God to we Christian brothers and sisters, dear una send that information there. So we'll reach to that person there for it bless we and let we serve the reform that person there in the Christian way. And after that we go get with sister, we go come on live with our sister Alice Angel. We go come with entertainment show on our stay tuned. It will be a little earlier tomorrow around there 1 o'clock. We on time, we're in Eastern Standard Time, so now stay tuned. Usually the program now 4 o'clock. It can start. Now we don't push them in fact to 5 o'clock, but tomorrow I will come a little bit earlier because the person at that time they get. So now stay tuned tomorrow for another episode of Catch a Moment with we sister we now Alice Angel. So again, we wish you a pleasant evening, and the people away the Australia and elsewhere when a morning, we wish you a pleasant morning. Until then, take care of ourselves, and again let God bless the one and only country we will know when our Mama Salone. Thank you and tata.
Cotton Tree Pharmacy is your new trusted provider of pharmacy services in Sierra Leone. You can count on Cotton Tree Pharmacy for genuine quality brand name and generic medicines. Guaranteed refills for prescriptions issued by doctors in Sierra Leone or abroad. Door-to-door medication delivery service in Freetown and beyond. Free health education. Have you heard about our Diaspora Medicine Connect? With Cotton Tree Pharmacy's Diaspora Medicine Connect, anyone can pay for your prescription online. Bring your prescription to 17 Pademba Road. Collect an invoice. Send your invoice to your sponsor in the diaspora. Your sponsor pays for your prescription online. We deliver your medication to you. For quality prescription and medications, visit Cotton Tree Pharmacy at 17 Pademba Road in Freetown. Have questions? Call our pharmacist on WhatsApp at 030-611-664 or visit our website at www.cottontreemedicalgroup.com. Come to Cotton Tree Pharmacy. We are ready to fill your next prescription.